Hi, my name is Wesley, and the topic that I chose for this research project is oil spills and the negative impacts that it has on not only on animals but for the environment as a whole. I apologize if my voice sounds a bit incomprehensive. I am a bit sick, so please bear with me. Everyone probably knows what an oil spill is already, but for a small recap, it's when petroleum hydrocarbons seep out of mining seep out of mining rigs into the environment. Contributing factors to oil spills can stem from indirect emission of fuels from vehicles, accidental spills, offshore drilling, and so on. This goes to show that if oil spills were to keep happening, then it can lead to pollution, which negatively impacts both us and other environments too. And here in slides 3 and 4 are examples of offshore drilling and accidental spills. There are multiple factors that contribute to oil spills, but I'm going to explain two main contributors. Accidental spills are the only primary contributors to oil, are one of the primary contributors to oil spills. This stems off of people being careless or making big mistakes in their work. A good example of this would be the Deepwater Horizon. Because some workers performed poorly on a cement job, the rig exploded, leading to the deaths of 11 people and millions of gallons of oil spreading through the ocean. Offshore drilling is another contributor to oil spills. It's an act of harvesting oil and natural gases underneath the ocean. Whenever they harvest the oil from the bottom, who says that the oil doesn't leak while they're extracting it? Oil, oil spills as a whole is a situation that we don't want to leave alone. Leaving it alone will not only affect the ocean, but us as well and the wildlife itself. When oil gets spilled into the ocean, it stays on the surface of it depending on the makeup of the oil. If the oil were to spread onto, say, a plot of land, then all the plants that are in that area would slowly intake the oil and will slowly perish. Humans and wildlife as well are not outside of the threat. This oil is made of toxic compounds, and if humans or wildlife would come into contact with it, it would affect their overall health. If humans were to come in contact or accidentally ingest it, then it would lead to future heart problems or compromising their immune systems. For animals, it would drastically change their way of life. Like humans, ingesting it would cause internal harm towards those animals. At the same time, some animals like pelicans or sea otters are very much affected because of the oil that would seep into their feathers or fur and hinder their movements as a whole. For this example slide, these 4 bullet points are examples of some of the worst oil spills that happened to date. The picture that's showed on the right shows the after effects of the Deepwater Horizon disaster, which I explained in the beginning. Deepwater Horizon is known to be the worst oil spill named. Not only did the spill take the lives of 11 people, but it also leaked over 100 million gallons of oil into the ocean. As for solutions, people can work on having a faster reaction time to the problem. They could also use secluded things like oil booms. That way it'll condense the spot that the oil has been spilling from into one place. Another way is to use dispersions. That way you could break down the oil particles, making it easier to collect. What I found interesting about the topic that I chose is how much oil gets spilled in the ocean. What's good about this topic is that it opened my eyes to a lot of the problems that are in the ocean in general. Like, I understand that there is global warming and climate change, but for some reason I felt that oil spills was touched my heart a bit more. I also feel that by selecting this topic, it expanded it expanded the knowledge that I had currently, and then it bettered it than before. The reason why I chose this topic is because I have a soft spot for marine animals. So learning of this topic and how it negatively impacts the animals that I care about made me want to learn more about it. I feel that posts on social media slowly but surely grab the attention of people, that would feel the same way. I feel that slow retention of progressively getting people to like look at the posts will greatly impact it later. I also feel that having sponsored events that explain the dangers of oil spills would open the eyes to many. I think that will affect the future generations because people are dependent on resources from the ocean. Since a good amount of the food that people consume is from the ocean, it will greatly mitigate the amount of fish that can feed the multitudes of people. I feel that in the later years, there will be one of two outcomes. One being that society will open their eyes to the problem at hand and pursue change, while the other is where society will be ignorant and the problem will stay the same, and it will slowly become worse over time.